Here with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, Klitschko just retired. I just want to get your thoughts on his retirement, his decision, and what do you think his legacy will be amongst all the heavyweights?
I mean, he's a smart guy. You know, he's getting out at the right time. He's not hanging around too long. So I give him credit for that. I give credit to anybody who gets out of this business at the right time and has enough respect for themselves and the sport to know when it's time to go out the door. Unfortunately, some people don't know when it's time, and it can be damaging, and I don't like to see that. I don't think anyone likes to see that. I know that the sport doesn't like to see that. You know, so I'm glad he's getting out at the right time, and I'm not shocked. Like I said, he's been an intelligent guy. He's promoted his own fights for the great part of his career, and he's been a good businessman, smart in every way, and that you can be smart in this business, and that you need to be smart. You know, so I applaud him. As far as his legacy, you know, he was around at a time where he was the best for a while for who was there. You know, I give him credit. He didn't give up. You know, he got knocked out 3 times. Was it 3 or maybe it was 4? But
he has 5 losses.
Yeah, most of them were knockout. I mean, well, by knockout. So he been knocked out. Maybe it's either 5 or 4. It might be 4 times out of the 5 losses. And you know, not to the biggest names, some of them, and yet he came back. He overcame it. He didn't, you know, he didn't disappear. He, you know, I give his brother a lot of credit. I give him both credit. But I give his brother a lot of credit for walking out at the right time and risking his life for the belief of his people. You know, going to his country and becoming mayor and getting involved in politics in a very dangerous place. You know, obviously a very volatile landscape over there. I give him credit as a man that he could have, you know, he made millions of dollars, and instead of just sitting back with his laurels, he said, no, I want to do something else, something selfless, something beyond me, something for other people, something that I believe in for my country. And there's a risk, a big risk, a bigger risk than even getting in the ring.
Yeah.
And yet he did it. So I give him a lot. And also I give his brother credit for becoming a pro. I remember there was a fight that he had given up. He had submitted in the pros. I think it was with, I don't know, was it with Bird or with his shoulder? And it might have been with Bird, but it was a fight where he capitulated in the corner. And he wasn't a pro that night. And he came back and he fought the best there was at that time, Lennox Lewis, and he lost to Lewis, but he behaved like a pro. He behaved like a pro. He became a pro that night. I don't go by the date that he turned pro. That means crap to me.
Yeah.
I go by the date that a man becomes a man, that a pro becomes a pro. And that was the date he became a pro. And I salute you for that. And back to his brother, you know, around at the right time, and he dominated for a while there, for about 10 years. But people criticize him and say there was a weak heavyweight division, and to an extent they wouldn't be incorrect. But he came back from his losses, his trials, his tribulations, and you know, he did dominate with what you can only dominate with what's there. You know, and you could say he had a fortunate landscape, but he did the most with that fortunate landscape. And he had a terrific career, and he always conducted himself like a gentleman. I always remember when he fought that guy from England, and the guy literally spit on him in the ring, and that could have been a disaster. Could have been a disaster where the whole promotion could have blew up, where he could have just went, and he didn't. He controlled himself, which was awful hard to do with a man of pride like he is. And he didn't go after him. He conducted himself like a real gentleman. I always remember that. Those are the things I remember. Congratulations to both of you.
Where would you rate Klitschko amongst all the heavyweights, you think?
You're just looking to get me in trouble.
No, I'm curious because
because people have a hard time rating number 3, and this guy, like you mentioned, he reigned for 10 years, and yeah, I know the division was weak, but that's an achievement in itself to go untouched.
Rank him with who?
With the all-time greats in the heavyweight division, Ali, Lewis, and then the rest.
Listen,
no, he's not number 1, number 2, but
no, he's not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10 at all. Okay, why?
Yeah, because he didn't have that guy.
Yeah,
he didn't have that guy. And I'm not saying that guy's around too often, but if he's not around, then you don't get the privilege of being rated in my top 10. Okay, it's a strict list. There should be a strict criterion to it.
Yeah,
and it's serious. It means something. It's of worth. You know, it's not just something that you pick up in a 5 and dime store. You know, and he didn't have that guy to fight and to overcome and to beat. But you said it well, and I said it earlier, that he did good with what was there. You know, he had some falls. He got knocked out, I think, 4 times in his career. He got up, he got back in there, and he still had a terrific career. And he had a long campaign of being dominant for about close to 10 years.
Yeah.
And so I give him all the credit in the world, but he did it with a lesser ilk of opponent that the guys that I have rated did it with. They did it with a better level of opposition. That's just the way it is.